Everybody loves an adventure, descending into dark dungeons with your trusty companions and a sharp blade. That might be why players have been requesting that Thunderstone be turned into a cooperative experience since the game was created. AEG finally listened, and on their Kickstarter currently running, they have not only a reprint of the base game, but also a new Barricades mode that allows both cooperative and solo play. I tried out the print and play available in the Kickstarter, and I'm here to tell you whether or not cooperative Thunderstone was worth waiting for. In Barricades mode, 1 to 6 players play simultaneously. First, they each roll custom 12-sided dice equal to the threat level of the Guardian. These dice will mostly wound the heroes and add monsters threatening the town. Each player then gets to spend the gold in their hand to buy items in the town. Players end each turn by fighting in the dungeon, either going together as a party or fighting monsters individually. If they fail to defeat enough monsters to remove the monster tokens placed at the beginning of the turn, those tokens are then randomly assigned as damage to the village. The players need to survive until the Guardian's threat level advances to the back, making him vulnerable to attack, and then deal enough wounds to him to defeat him for good. If they can accomplish this before the town is fully destroyed, they win. The first change I want to discuss is the combined village and dungeon turn. In competitive Thunderstone, players had to look at their hand and decide to either go to the village or the dungeon, except for certain special effects. But in Barricades mode, they've streamlined this so you first go to the village and then to the dungeon on every one of your turns. This does tend to make the game go a little bit faster, but at the same time it removes one of the tactical decisions from the game. Making the move to simultaneous play is generally a good thing. Downtime was a problem in Thunderstone Quest, and this speeds up the game considerably. I also like the party system, with players choosing whether to adventure alone or as a party. It adds some cooperative discussion to the game. Additionally, players can lend each other cards for the turn when they're in a party. Simultaneous play also limits cooperation a bit. Village turns tend to be automatic affairs, so players won't discuss them much. And it's often generally obvious which monsters can be defeated or not, so there isn't actually much tactical choice in the simultaneous play. I really enjoy the Guardian dice and how they ramp up the game. At first each player is only rolling 1, but as the threat level increases turn to turn, they really add up. Each Guardian has unique effects that make their die rolls a little bit different. Additionally, one face on each die will trigger a special effect unique to that player. This does make the dice fairly swingy, but can also be a lot of fun. I also like how the dice add monster tokens to the village. Some turns there won't be many, and it won't be that important to fight large monsters. Other turns the town will be facing a major threat, and it'll force you to fight monsters you might not be comfortable with. Something I haven't mentioned yet that I like a lot are the prestige boards. First, they each have little goals you must complete to level up, giving you some direction as you play the game. When you complete these goals and spend experience, you get bonuses that persist for the entire game. This gives you some hard choices of whether you spend your experience on the prestige boards or leveling up your heroes. Sadly, I'm ending on a down note, and that's that many elements from competitive Thunderstone Quest are either thrown out or unbalanced in the cooperative variant. First, cards you add to your deck often have a victory point value at the bottom. This balances the card, making some weaker cards more worthwhile because they'll help you in the end game. But because the cooperative mode throws these victory point values away, making them useless, the cards are not as balanced as they were in the competitive game. But most frustrating are the location actions. In competitive Thunderstone Quest, the Temple, the Shop of Arcane Wonders, and the Guild Quarters were all viable options, giving you a tactical choice every village turn. But because the Temple takes away the ability to go to the dungeon fully half of your turn, and because the Guild Quarters makes you discard 2 heroes from your hand, weakening your attack, neither of them is a good option in the cooperative game. You're pretty much always going to go to the Bazaar, and that again limits the choices you have in the game. I really enjoy competitive Thunderstone Quest. The addition of side quests, faster leveling, and a physical board are all great improvements on the game. But I don't feel as positive about Barricades mode, at least the way it's currently balanced in the print and play. It works okay and games go pretty quickly thanks to the simultaneous play. But they removed a lot of tactical choice from the game, and also didn't do as careful a job of balancing the elements as I wish they had. If you're interested in Thunderstone Quest for both competitive and cooperative play, I think the current Kickstarter is a really good deal. But if you're planning to only play the game cooperatively, I think there are much better options out there, like Aeon's End or Battle for Greyport. Interestingly, I really enjoyed Thunderstone Quest solo, much more than playing it cooperatively. Gameplay was super fast, and playing through different quests with different puzzles to figure out was a lot of fun and pretty addictive. I played 3 games in a row, and I was hungry for more. I still don't think it's balanced enough to buy the game just for the solo experience. But if you're into playing it competitively as well, solo is surprisingly fun.